So let's get to the questions. Why do you use alcohol to melt menthol crystal? You want it to melt evenly and dissolve everything. All the crystals actually dissolve, and you don't want any residue of them remaining in the mixture. So the rubbing alcohol evaporates as the steamers cure. So next, what should I do if my shower steamers start fizzing in the molds? You want to first check your humidity levels. So between 40-45 or so, around 40%, 30 is good. It's like making bath bombs, and it all actually depends on your area. Now I've made it when it's like 50% humidity in the room. I've also made it with 40, I've made it with 30, and I've actually made it with 15. 15 for me is way too dry. So I think the ideal is around 40 plus or minus 5. And you want to ensure that when you are making these shower steamers that you have a well ventilated area. So either if you have to open the windows, have fans going, but if you do open the windows and it adds moisture to your room, you don't want that. So you might need a dehumidifier. It also depends what time of the year you're actually making shower steamers, because summertime, at least here in New England, there is a lot more moisture in the air, whereas you're in like Arizona and the West is very dry. It all depends where you are. So humidity level is number one, and you always want to check that. Number two, you want to have a really well ventilated area, especially if you're working with menthol crystals. If you need to wear a mask, if you definitely have the fans going, have an air purifier, which I have that going right over here. It's that right there, it's that white box thing. See that right there. And then you want to store them in, if they're not shrink wrapped, in some storage containers. So does the clay affect the plumbing? The amount of clay that you're actually using in your steamers is not a lot. The short answer is no, it doesn't, because it all goes down the drain. So it does not clog your plumbing whatsoever. Can I substitute kaolin clay with something else? Yes, you could use cornstarch, you could use cream of tartar. Cream of tartar is much more expensive, and that's why I use kaolin clay. Will mica stain the tub or the shower floor? The reason it does not stain the tub, a white tub or the shower floor, is because I use a polysorbate 80, and that actually is an emulsifier, so everything goes right down the drain and it doesn't stain anything. And I also use high quality mica, so I don't use food coloring, I don't use anything like that. I use cosmetic grade micas, and also because I have a skincare business, but I have links for that in a lot of my videos in my Amazon store. And so how do I double the recipe? Well, that's really easy. You just, if it's 8 cups, it's 16. So it's very easy to actually double your batch. You just multiply by 2. Or if you want to do small batches for testing, but you could do really small amounts or just cut it in half and test that small amount. How do I label shower steamers? How I label them is I have the name of it, so what the scent is. So if it's Sinus, and I have menthol shower steamers, what it is. So I have Sinus is the name of it, and then underneath it I have menthol shower steamer, and then I have ounces and then net weight, and then the back of it I have ingredients and how to use it, and I also have the name of my company and my website. But it depends on what country you're in. In the United States, that's how the labeling, we have certain label requirements, every single country does. So that would be something to pay attention to. Warning, so I do have a warning label, especially for the menthol, because you want to handle it carefully. You don't want to touch your eyes after or any sensitive spots on your body. You do want to wash your hands after, and also keep out of the reach of children. So it's not a children product that would be safe for them to use without a supervision of an adult, unless they're over like the age of 10 or something like that. But even then, you want to give them guidance on how to actually use that shower steamer. I would like 12, but that's me as a mother, so that's up to you. That's your choice. Can I use 99% rubbing alcohol instead of 91? You can do that. However, you want to test it because the 99% is much more concentrated, so it'll evaporate a lot quicker. That's why I use 91. If you use 70% rubbing alcohol, it has too much water solution in it, and that actually will cause it to fizz and foam prematurely. Why do citric acid, baking soda, and water not react immediately? Because there's only a small amount that is added. The shower steamer actually reacts when water is added to it, so a lot of water, or even I guess a drip of it. And you'll see me in some of my videos, if you watched my shower steamer video playlist, I have a mica painting with rubbing alcohol and vegetable glycerin and stuff like that, and it doesn't react. And people have asked me that, why doesn't it react? It's the concentration of the rubbing alcohol, and I'm not adding water to it, because water and moisture actually does make it react. And I'm not adding water to my shower steamer when I'm mixing it up. It's all stuff that is really non-reactive. Where can I find ingredients and supplies? My molds and my ingredients, I have an Amazon storefront, and I'll leave a link for that in the description box below of this video. And I also use wholesale supplies. Plus is one of them, Brambleberry, Bulk Apothecary is one of them. And where I get that mold, if you want to know, that lotus mold is the only place I've found it is Wholesale Supplies Plus. Fragrances and essential oils, I do get them from those suppliers that I just mentioned, and I do get some from Amazon too, because you have Nature's Garden that is sold on Amazon, and sometimes it's a little bit, it's not the quality is the same because it's sold by that company. It's just a little bit less expensive. Here's what I wish I would have known earlier is people, my customers and your customers, buy with their noses, and not only visually. It's like when we eat, the same thing. That's why doing seasonal scents like the maple shower steamer, which is a fall scent, it's very beautiful, clove and cinnamon. It makes me think of autumn leaves and things like that. And then the citrus is like a summer scent. And menthol is pretty much all year because allergies and colds and things like that. So I have a lot of those. I have those special recipes that I have worked on throughout the years because I've made thousands and thousands of shower steamers, and I have narrowed down the recipes, and I have that in my ebook. And I also have a seasonal scent library in the ebook too. So there's my plug. So these are just a few of the questions that I get from my customers and from viewers like you. Thank you for subscribing. Or just general questions. And I have this in my beginner's shower steamer guide, and it's an ebook that I've made. I'll leave a link for it in the description box below. And this is great for people that are hobbyists, small business owners, crafters, if you do farmers markets, or if you just want to add another product line to your business. This is such an inexpensive, easy product to add to your business product line. If you have any comments or if you have any questions, and if you would like to sign up for my newsletter, I'll leave that in the description box below too. You just click on read more and it opens it right up. And the next video to watch is my DIY rose gold bath bomb, how to make it. Friends, thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.